Stop recording.
Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. I thought in today's video we would talk about some things that I've learned through job interviews and how I address my disability. And so the way I handle it is, this has worked for me, at least in the massage therapy industry, how I've gotten one job at a chiropractor's office, and the reason why that job didn't work out was not due to my disability. It was due it wasn't the right fit in the end, but I did work there for about 8 months, and I am waiting on a callback from a manager at Massage Envy, and I did get 2 interviews, and it's looking extremely good. So I thought that I would talk about what has worked for me in getting jobs, and not just that, but advocating for myself in general, because I had a really good podcast interview recently, and I'm hoping I can give y'all more details about that once it's scheduled and different things like that, because they've decided I'm a good fit. So let's just get on to the way I address it. So once they call me, because I have submitted my resume to several places and they haven't called me back, which is unfortunate, but there's nothing on my resume that states I am blind or visually impaired, so I don't think it has anything to do with that. It's just the unfortunate job market. But in that first phone call where they call and say, like, hi, we saw your resume, we're interested in having more conversations with you, interviews, whatever the topic may be, I decide, that's when I decide to let them know of my disability. But I don't just say, hey, by the way, I'm blind, because blindness has a negative connotation in society, unfortunately. But the way I handle it is I say, hi, my name is Emily, because that's my legal name, so that's what they call me by. I'll say, hi, my name is, how are you? And as we get into the conversation and it needs to come up, I'll say, hi, I just thought I should let you know I am completely blind, but that doesn't stop me from performing many aspects of my job. At my previous employer, we used iPads for the check-in process, and I used an iPad to do my notes and different things like that during the check-in process or the checkout process, or just different things like that. And I used an iPad to do all of the things I needed to do at my previous employer. Whenever I come into the clinic or office or spa, I can show you how that worked, because a lot of places now have digital systems that if they don't have iPads, they're fine with me like using it on my iPad. And so me just being able to start that conversation of, this is how I accommodate things, and I can still do everything. I can still flip the tables, flip the rooms, like get everything situated, just as long as everything is left in the same location as, like, every time, like when sheets are washed and dried, they're put back in the same places. I'm more than willing to help with that, come up with an organization system. lotions and things of that nature are left in the same spot, in the same order, so I don't accidentally use the wrong thing on a patient. And once I explain that, they're like, oh, that makes lots of sense. And so once I explain that, they're generally very understanding, or if they have any questions, they'll let me know and we'll have that conversation in office. And people have asked me, what if they're not understanding of your blindness in that first phone call and you get a bad vibe? If I get a bad vibe during that first phone call, controversial opinion, I don't go. Like, I don't want to work for a place where they don't want to accommodate me. So I have gotten that vibe at a couple of places, but most that I've spoken to, or at least willing to have that at least initial conversation to see how accommodations and things like that would work. And I had my interview at Massage Envy this past week, did the hands-on practical a couple days after, on Tuesday of this past week, and I'm hopefully going to get a phone call, if not tomorrow, early on next week, because the owner was out of town, so the manager said she was going to talk to them and then get back in touch with me as soon as they had those conversations, and we could go from there. So I will keep y'all updated on my job journey.
Stop recording button.